The phone screen glows in the darkness. Numbers cascade across the banking app. $47,892, $63,450, $91,203. The transactions scroll faster than the eye can follow. Daniel Marsh's hand trembles as he grips the phone. His breathing quickens. Sweat beads on his knuckles. What would you do if a stranger spent your unlimited credit card and you couldn't stop it? The camera pulls back to reveal Daniel, 42 years old, sitting alone in a penthouse overlooking the city. His face is pale. His eyes dart between the screen and the clock on the wall. 23 hours and 47 minutes have passed. He reaches for the phone to call the bank. His finger hovers over the screen. He doesn't press it. The screen shows one more notification. $125,000. Location, St. Mary's Hospital. Daniel's hand drops. His face contorts. Rage, confusion, something else he can't name. This is the story of a man who thought he knew the price of everything. The phone slips from his grip, and a woman who showed him he knew the value of nothing. The screen cuts to black, then fades in on a different world entirely. Emma Rivera, 34, stands at a bus stop in the pre-dawn cold. Her jacket is thin, patched at the elbows. She checks her own phone, a cracked screen displaying $64.37 in her checking account. She does the math silently. Rent is due in 3 days. Her daughter needs new shoes. The shoes can wait. Emma Rivera worked 3 jobs. None of them were enough. The bus arrives. She climbs on, takes a seat in the back. Through the window, the city transforms as they move, decay giving way to glass towers that pierce the morning sky. 72 hours earlier, Daniel sits at a breakfast table set for one in his penthouse. Everything is white, chrome, perfect, lifeless. A maid places coffee in front of him. He doesn't look at her. Doesn't say thank you. His lawyer, Richard, 50s, sits across from him, with contracts spread between them. The prenup protected you from the worst of it, Richard says, but legally, she's entitled to— I don't care what she's entitled to, Daniel interrupts. She lied. They all lie. He signs papers without reading them. His third divorce, finalized with the stroke of a pen. Daniel Marsh built an empire from nothing. A tech visionary who revolutionized cloud infrastructure, worth $3.2 billion. Daniel stares out at the city below, his reflection staring back from the window. Hollow eyes, expensive suit, alone. He trusted people once. That was before he learned that everyone had a price. Meanwhile, Emma works her second job, cleaning office buildings at night. She scrubs floors in silence while executives work late in glass conference rooms above her. They don't see her. She never expected them to. Her phone buzzes. A text from her daughter, Sophia, 9 years old. Miss you, Mama? Mrs. Chen made me mac and cheese. Emma smiles for the first time, types back with wet hands. Be good for her. Love you, baby girl. Emma had something Daniel lost years ago. She still believed people could surprise you. The coffee shop is neutral territory. Not rich, not poor, middle ground. Daniel sits in the corner, watching. This is his experiment, his latest obsession. After his divorce, after the betrayal, he'd become fixated on a question. Was anyone truly selfless? Or did everyone have a breaking point where greed took over? He needed to know. Emma enters, exhausted from a night shift. She's here for a third job interview, barista position, morning shift. It pays $13 an hour. She doesn't notice Daniel watching as she sits down, orders water instead of coffee to save $3. He makes his decision. Daniel stands, approaches her table. Emma looks up, surprised. Emma Rivera, he asks. Yes? Do I know you? Daniel sits without asking, slides a black credit card across the table. No name on it, just numbers embossed in silver. 24 hours, no limit, spend whatever you want. Emma stares at the card like it might explode. Is this a joke? No conditions, no strings, no cameras following you. Just one rule, you can't give it back until the 24 hours are up. Why would you? Because I'm curious what you'll do. Emma's hand hovers over the card, but doesn't touch it. I don't understand. What do you want from me? Nothing. That's the point. 24 hours from the moment you take it. Then you return it to this address. He slides a business card next to the credit card. Emma looks at him. Really looks. Sees the expensive watch, the tailored suit, the cold calculation in his eyes. This is a test. She knows it. What if I don't take it? Then you go to your interview for a job that won't pay your rent. The words land like a slap. Emma's jaw tightens. You don't know anything about me. I know you've been at that bus stop every morning at 5:47 for 6 months. I know you work 3 jobs. I know your daughter's name is Sophia. Emma's face goes cold. You've been watching me? I've been watching a lot of people. You seemed interesting. He stands to leave. The card is yours if you want it. If not, leave it on the table. He walks away without looking back. Emma stares at the card. Her hands shake. She thinks of Sophia's shoes, the overdue rent, the impossible math of poverty that never, ever works. She picks up the card. The clock starts ticking. Daniel's phone buzzes. He's back in his penthouse, laptop open, tracking software running. Transaction alert, $156.82. Target, 9:47 a.m. He smirks. Predictable. She went shopping. Throughout the morning, small notifications appear. $43.50. Grocery outlet, $89.99 Foot Locker. $31.20 CVS Pharmacy. Taking care of necessities first, Daniel mutters to himself. Smart, building up to it. He pours himself scotch, even though it's barely noon. This is entertainment now, watching someone's true nature reveal itself. $250, utility company payment. $1,200, landlord portal. There we go. Rent, of course. But something nags at him. The amounts are still small. Careful. She's not splurging. No designer bags, no jewelry, no fancy restaurant. His phone buzzes again. $800, St. Mary's Elementary School. He pulls up the transaction details. It's a payment to the school office. Probably overdue lunch fees, field trip costs, the nickel and dime expenses that bury poor families. Daniel frowns. This isn't what he expected. He'd given this test before, to assistants, to business partners, to romantic interests. They all followed the same pattern. Start small, then bigger, then luxury items, then excess. Emma was different, and Daniel didn't know what to do with different. Emma walks through Target with Sophia. The little girl clutches new shoes, practical sneakers, nothing flashy. Sophia looks up at her mother, confused. Mama, how did we? Don't ask questions, baby. Just let Mama take care of things today, okay? Sophia nods, but there's worry in her young eyes. She's seen her mother struggle too long to believe in miracles. Emma's phone has notifications turned off. She doesn't want to see the numbers, doesn't want to feel the weight of what she's doing. She just wants one day where she doesn't have to choose between food and electricity. Hour 8. Daniel's tracking becomes obsessive. He's mapped every location, every timestamp. His wall has become a conspiracy board. Receipts, locations, patterns. $450 medical clinic. $920 pharmacy. $1,500 dental office. Medical bills, of course. Very sympathetic. But his tone lacks conviction. He's pacing now, unable to sit still. $2,800 community center. $5,000 St. Vincent de Paul Society. He stops. That last one, $5,000 to a charity? He pulls up his laptop, searches. St. Vincent de Paul runs food banks, shelter services. Why would she? Call Richard, Daniel says to his phone. Daniel, it's 2 a.m. Richard's voice comes through groggy. She's donating my money to charity. Is that part of some scheme? Tax write-off? Laundering? It's charity. People do it. People don't give away money they don't have. Maybe she's not keeping it for herself. The line goes quiet. Daniel, have you considered she might just be a decent person? No one's decent when the numbers get high enough. Everyone breaks. He hangs up. Emma sits at the community center with Mrs. Chen, 60s, the same woman watching Sophia. She's signing paperwork with the director. Emma, I don't understand where this money came from, Mrs. Chen says, but it came from someone who won't miss it, and you need a new roof before winter. I've seen the buckets in the gym when it rains. This is too much. I can't. Yes, you can. This place saved me when I had nowhere to take Sophia. Now it's my turn. Mrs. Chen hugs her, tears streaming. Emma doesn't cry. She's already thinking about the next stop. The clock is ticking. She has 16 hours left. She has a list. Neg. Hour 18. Daniel hasn't slept. His eyes are bloodshot, his expensive shirt wrinkled. His phone erupts with notifications. $12,000, medical billing department. $15,000, medical billing department. $8,500, medical billing department. $22,000, medical billing department. What the hell? He's on his laptop immediately, pulling up details. All the payments are going to different people's accounts. Medical debt, all at St. Mary's Hospital. She's paying off other people's hospital bills. No. She's doing this to look good, to manipulate. His phone rings. Unknown number. What? Mr. Marsh? This is St. Mary's Hospital billing department. We have someone here trying to make large payments on behalf of multiple patients. And we need to verify how much. So far, about $180,000 in total. But she's going through files, asking about families in critical debt. Daniel's hand grips the phone so hard it creaks. Stop her. Sir? I said stop the transactions. Freeze the card. We can't do that without. Daniel hangs up. He grabs his keys, his jacket. He's going there himself. He'd wanted to prove everyone had a price. That generosity was just greed wearing a mask. But Emma was destroying his theory, and Daniel couldn't let that stand. The city blurs past his car windows. His speedometer climbs. Traffic laws stop meaning anything. He checks his phone. 4 hours and 23 minutes remaining. Another notification. $125,000, St. Mary's Hospital. Damn it! He slams the steering wheel. Daniel bursts through the hospital's billing office doors. Emma sits calmly at a desk with a billing coordinator, 40s, surrounded by patient files. What the hell do you think you're doing? Daniel shouts. Emma looks up. No surprise on her face. She knew he'd come. I'm helping people. With my money. You said no conditions, no strings. I didn't say you could play God with it. The billing coordinator stands, uncomfortable. Should I give you two a moment? No, Emma says. We're done here. Process those last 3 accounts. Don't you dare. Emma stands, facing him. Or what? You'll take back your generous gift? Your little social experiment? Her words hit like bullets. You think I don't know what this was? You wanted to watch me be greedy. You wanted me to buy a car, jewelry, take a vacation. Something you could point to and say, see, everyone's the same. That's not. Yes, it is. I've met men like you. Men who think money is the only truth. That everyone has a price. Everyone does. No, you do. You're the one who can only understand the world in transactions, who can only trust numbers because people hurt you. Daniel's face goes red. You don't know anything about me. I know you've been divorced 3 times. I know you eat breakfast alone every morning in a penthouse with 15 rooms. I know you have people you pay to be around you because you can't trust anyone to actually care. I gave you unlimited access to my money and you used it to help people who are drowning. Do you know how many families lose everything because of medical debt? Do you know what it's like to choose between your child's medication and keeping a roof over their head? That's not my problem. No, it's not. But I made it your money's problem for one day. The money you'll never miss. The money that just sits there earning interest while people suffer. So you think you can fix the world, one hospital bill at a time? No, but I can fix it for 12 families today, 12 people who won't lose their homes, 12 children who won't watch their parents cry over bills they can't pay. Daniel steps closer, his voice dropping to something dangerous. The deal was 24 hours. You have 4 hours left. I want that card back. Now. Emma reaches into her pocket, pulls out the black credit card. For a moment, Daniel thinks he's won. She places it on the desk between them. You can have it. The deal is over. She turns to the coordinator. Wait. Process those last accounts. The payment will clear. She walks toward the door. Daniel grabs her arm. I'm not done. Emma looks at his hand on her arm, then at his face. Something in her eyes makes him let go. Yes, you are. You got what you wanted. Proof that someone like me would take your money. Well, I took it, and I gave it away. What does that make me in your equation, Mr. Marsh? She walks out. Daniel stands there, the black card on the desk, his entire experiment in ruins. Hour 23. Daniel sits in his car outside the hospital. The card is in his hand. Emma is gone. He should feel vindicated. She spent his money recklessly, $430,000 in a single day. That's proof of something. It has to be. But his chest feels hollow. His phone buzzes. One final notification. $8,200, St. Mary's Elementary School. He stares at it, pulls up the details. It's not a random payment. It's specific. A scholarship fund. Money set aside for children whose families can't afford school supplies, field trips, lunch programs. There's a note attached to the transaction, visible in the memo line. For the kids who think dreams cost too much. AR. Daniel's hand shakes. He opens his banking app, looks at his account balance. The withdrawals Emma made, $438,200 total, are barely visible. A rounding error in his wealth. Money he'll make back in passive interest before the day ends. But 12 families are debt-free. A community center has a new roof. Sophia and 50 other kids have new shoes and full lunch accounts. Emma spent a fortune and bought nothing for herself. Daniel sits in the silence as the clock ticks past midnight. The 24 hours are over. His phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Thank you for the experiment, Mr. Marsh. I hope you learned something. Emma. Below it, a photo. Sophia in her new shoes, smiling at the camera. A little girl who doesn't know a billionaire gave her mother a test and she turned it into grace. Daniel types. Meet me, please. I need to understand. The response comes immediately. There's nothing to understand. Some people help when they can. That's all. Another message. I left something for you at the front desk. I think you dropped it. Daniel gets out of his car, walks back into the hospital. The night receptionist hands him an envelope. Inside is a receipt, one Emma paid herself. $47.50 flowers. Below it, a handwritten note. I bought these from my mother's grave. She died because she couldn't afford her insulin. I thought you should know at least one thing I bought was for me. We're all human, Mr. Marsh, even the poor ones. Daniel's legs give out. He sits in a hospital waiting room chair, the receipt trembling in his hands. Daniel doesn't go home. He sits in that hospital waiting room until dawn, watching people come and go. Families in crisis, nurses changing shifts, janitors mopping floors. People Emma helped walk past him without knowing. A young couple whose baby was in NICU, their $15,000 debt erased. An elderly man who can now afford his cancer treatment. A single father who won't lose his home. They don't know Daniel Marsh paid for it. They don't know Emma gave away a stranger's fortune. They just know someone cared. Daniel built his empire on a simple belief. Trust no one. The sun rises through the hospital windows. It protected him from betrayal, from gold diggers and backstabbers, from anyone who might want something from him. Daniel sees his reflection in the glass doors. Expensive suit. Empty eyes. It also protected him from everything real. His phone has 17 missed calls from Richard, his assistant, his board members. He ignores all of them. He thinks about his 3 ex-wives, the prenups, the accusations of being cold, calculating, incapable of trust. They were right. He thinks about Emma, working 3 jobs, raising a daughter alone, still finding a way to help others. She had nothing and gave everything. He has everything and gives nothing. Young Daniel, 16, watches his mother cry over eviction notices. Daniel, 24, is betrayed by his first business partner who stole his code. Daniel, 31, divorced for the first time, convinced she only wanted his money. Daniel, 38, at his father's funeral, surrounded by people, family, friends, colleagues. Not sure if any of them actually cared or just wanted proximity to wealth. Daniel, 42, alone in a penthouse, creating experiments to prove everyone is motivated by greed. Because if everyone is greedy, then his isolation makes sense. Then he's not broken. The world is. Daniel pulls out his phone, opens his banking app, looks at his net worth, $3,189,427,691. He subtracts Emma's spending, $3,189,427,691 minus $438,200 equals $3,188,989,491. The number barely changed. But 12 families' worlds transformed. Daniel begins to cry, silently at first, then shaking sobs that make other people in the waiting room look over in concern. A nurse approaches. "Sir, are you all right? Is someone in your family?" "No, no one." And that's the truth he's been running from. No one. He has no one. 3 weeks later, Emma arrives at the community center to pick up Sophia. Mrs. Chen meets her at the door, excited. "Emma, you have to see this." She leads Emma to the gymnasium. The old roof has been completely replaced. But more than that, new basketball hoops, fresh paint, a climbing wall, computers in the corner. "Mrs. Chen, the money I gave you wasn't enough for all this. It wasn't just you. We got an anonymous donation. A big one. Enough to renovate the whole building and fund programs for 3 years. Emma's eyes widen. Whoever it was, they wrote one instruction. Emma Rivera gets to decide how it's spent. Emma's hand covers her mouth. The hospital billing office. The coordinator from before is meeting with Daniel. Between them is a check, $50 million. Mr. Marsh, we can eliminate medical debt for hundreds of families with this. That's the idea. What should we name the fund? Marsh Foundation? Your family name? No, call it the ER Fund, for Emma Rivera. Does she know? No, and she doesn't need to. Daniel stands to leave. On his way out, he passes the same young couple from before, the ones with the baby in NICU. They're holding their child, healthy now, going home. The father makes eye contact with Daniel, nods, one stranger to another. Daniel nods back. It's not much, but it's something. Sophia's elementary school. Emma sits in a meeting with the principal. Miss Rivera, Sophia's teachers have recommended her for our gifted program, full scholarship through high school, with college prep resources. I can't afford. It's fully funded by an anonymous donor who set up an endowment for underprivileged students. Sophia was first on the list. Emma's eyes fill with tears. Whoever nominated her wrote, "For the children of people who give more than they have." Daniel's penthouse. Different now, the walls have photos, not of himself, but of places, people, moments. He's not alone anymore. Richard sits across from him, contract between them. You're really doing this? Giving away voting control of your company to a trust? Keeping control hasn't made me happy. Maybe letting go will. And the 70% of net worth you're moving to charitable foundations? Money I'll never spend anyway. Might as well do something with it. Daniel, what changed? Daniel looks out at the city, the same view he's had for years, but he sees it differently now. I met someone who taught me the difference between value and price. Emma and Sophia at the bus stop, but this time Emma isn't alone. Mrs. Chen is with her. Other mothers from the community center. They're laughing, talking, planning. Sophia tugs her mother's hand. Mama, why are you smiling? Because I'm realizing something, baby. What? That giving things away is the only way to really keep them. The bus arrives. They all climb on together. Black screen. Daniel and Emma never saw each other again. But his money continued to flow to the causes she believed in. He never told her. She never knew. Sometimes the greatest gifts are the ones given without recognition. The black credit card, retired, sits in a frame on Daniel's wall. Next to it, Emma's handwritten note about the flowers. He gave her a test to prove everyone is greedy. She gave him a lesson that generosity costs nothing and changes everything. Trust isn't about finding people who won't hurt you. It's about believing some will surprise you.